You're standing at the edge of breaking, and nobody sees it. Your friends think you're composed. Your coworkers see you meeting deadlines. Your family thinks you're strong. But inside, you're holding yourself together by threads. One more setback, and it all might unravel. Is that weakness? No. It's the simple truth. Nobody ever taught you to be resilient. We've all learned to chase goals, to hustle, to pretend. But did anyone teach you how to survive a blow you didn't see coming? How to adapt when life turns unexpectedly harsh? The fact is, the world rarely hands us resilience, but it can be built if you know how. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. Are you ready to learn their hacks? What is real resilience? Here's the lie you've been told. Resilience means enduring. Just push through, be tough. That's not resilience. That's denial. True resilience is the ability to bend without snapping, to fall and get up every single time. Modern psychology describes resilience as the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt, and keep functioning amid stress. But the Stoics dug deeper. They saw resilience as a practice, a choice you make in every crisis. Epictetus, born a slave, said, "It is not things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about these things." Think about that. What if the difference between breakdown and breakthrough is how you judge what happens? If two people face the same loss, but only one falls apart, do you see why? It's not the event. It's the interpretation, the story you repeat to yourself. What stories have you been telling yourself after every failure? The dichotomy of control. You lose your job. You stew over what your boss did. You rewrite your own words, wishing you'd said something smarter. You replay every detail as if wishing hard enough will change it. But here's the core of Stoic psychology. There are only two kinds of things in life: those you control and those you don't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Simple, right? But how often do you spend your days fighting the uncontrollable? Take a moment. What did you worry about last night? Was it something you could actually control, or something you only wish you could control? How much energy did it cost? This is your leverage point. Every minute you obsess over the uncontrollable is a minute lost from building the only thing that matters, your reaction. Practice the worst case. Knowing what's in your control is just the start. So why do most people still freeze when disaster hits? Because we're afraid to face the worst in our own minds. The Stoics invented negative visualization. Modern psychologists call it stress inoculation. It's the art of rehearsing loss or failure on purpose. Before a big journey, Seneca imagined storms, shipwrecks, disaster, not to torture himself, but to be ready. When you confront the worst, you rob it of its power. Try this. What's your biggest fear right now? Pause. Imagine it in detail. Then ask, would I really be destroyed? What would I do next? Research confirms people who visualize adversity cope better when it happens. Why? They've met the monster before. It doesn't control them. The comfort trap. Here's an uncomfortable truth. The more comfortable you make your life, the more fragile you become. Seneca was wealthy, but he lived simply by choice, sleeping on a hard bed, eating cheap food. He'd ask, "Is this what I feared?" A billionaire practicing poverty. Why? To remind himself loss couldn't ruin him. Where are you hooked on comfort? How anxious do you get when your phone dies or your coffee routine breaks? Each tiny habit can be a chain unless you break it on purpose. Try going a day without your favorite comfort. Feel the discomfort. Tell yourself, I can handle this. I'm not held captive by comfort. Real resilience grows in voluntary discomfort, not in luxury. Mindset reframing. Event, reaction, suffering. But what if you could break that sequence? Let's say you failed an exam, lost money, or faced rejection. A, I'm not good enough. B, this is a lesson. Here's exactly what I need to improve. The Stoics practiced reframing, taking a seeming setback and asking, where is the gift? Not toxic positivity, just wisdom. After trauma, some spiral, others grow stronger. They look for meaning. What meaning can you find in your current challenge? Could you turn this pain into fuel? Modern science calls it post-traumatic growth. Stoics just call it practice. Embodiment versus knowledge. It's easy to understand this, all sounds good, but do you live it? Knowing the dichotomy of control won't matter if you cave at the first setback. Reading 100 quotes on resilience won't keep you standing unless you practice daily. Epictetus called them disciplines. Perception, see clearly. Desire, want what happens. Action, do what's right. Assent, accept or reject thoughts. Practice when it's small, not only when the world's ending. This way your mind is like a trained muscle. It doesn't collapse under stress. How much time did you spend today flexing the wrong mental muscle? In the trenches. Let's apply it. Your relationship is hanging by a thread. You can't control their feelings or choices. You can only control your own. Honesty, kindness, self-respect. Pause. What if it ends? You'll survive, though it hurts. Where's the benefit? Maybe you learn self-worth. Maybe you grow. Shift. Focus on actions, not outcomes. Instead of trying to fix someone else, fix your integrity. Most times, this calm focus improves the outcome. But even if it doesn't, you walk away unbroken. Would you rather lose yourself to circumstance or become unshakable, no matter the outcome? The uncomfortable cost. Real talk. Building resilience has a price. Some people won't understand your calm. They'll see it as cold or uncaring. But emotional chaos is contagious, and so is calm clarity. Stoic peace isn't numbness, it's depth. You'll love more fiercely because you're not desperate to control outcomes. You'll lose people who thrive on drama, but attract those seeking real strength. Are you ready to pay that price for inner freedom? Daily practice. How do you start? Not with grand gestures. Morning. Before life gets noisy, list what's in your control today. Decide how you want to act. During the day, when you're stressed, pause. Ask, is this in my control? If not, let it go. Evening. Journal. Where did I react well? Where did I spiral? What's the lesson? No shame, just learning. Neuroscience shows even 10 minutes a day can change your brain, bit by bit. How will you practice tomorrow? The long view. Progress isn't linear. You don't climb the mountain of resilience and plant a flag. You steer every single day. For 90 days, practice deliberately, then watch. Calm comes more easily. Anxiety loses its grip. Problems become puzzles, not disasters. Where do you want to be 3 months from now? Who do you become one choice at a time? The challenge. This week, choose one anxiety you've been obsessing over. Write out, what can't I control? What can I control? What energy am I wasting? Where will I redirect my action? Then act. Test this in your life just for a week. Let the evidence change you. The final truth. You are not as fragile as you think. Every time you survive discomfort, you prove it. Every time you release control of the uncontrollable, you strengthen it. Every time you reframe your pain into growth, you become it. Resilience isn't luck, it's built. Choice by choice, day by day. Are you ready to meet the strongest version of yourself? Call to action. If this resonated with you, subscribe and join us for more. But more importantly, practice today. Don't wait. The future version of you, the resilient one, is built now. Thank you for being here. See you next time.